Hi there, Shawn Frost of the Green Patrol and Human Family Reunions, and also the project lead for the Zigzag Walk. It occurred to me that I've never really told the entire tale of what prompted me to start the Green Patrol and what continues to drive me to evolve it into something much larger, and including the Human Family Reunions and our national tour for reconnection. Um, I'm a former U.S. Marine, and that's when I started running marathons. Was in the Marine Corps, mostly because it was either work it and get up at 2:30, or run it and get up at 4:30. You'll know I've got a couple Marine Corps marathon medals in there and a few Disney marathons. In addition to that, I'm also a coach. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I was a strength and conditioning coach, and I also coached through a charitable organization over 100 people through their first half or full marathon. On those training runs and in my general runs, I would pick up garbage, pick up litter along the way. It was nothing to see me running with several items, or I eventually got to the point where I actually ran with a garbage bag and picked up litter as I went. So that's just part of who I am. I grew up surfing here in Florida, and I understand. I've watched the quality of the water degrade. I've watched the air quality degrade. It seems like there's more and more litter. So, I'm as guilty as the next person of saying that someone should do something. And that's why our shirts say, I am someone. Because at some point, you have to take the self-responsibility. And it may not make a world of difference, but it makes a difference. And so flash forward, I was working in private equity, helping the 1% become more 1% here. And I continued my warrior ways, if you will, by attending an instructor camp for Commando Krav Maga, at which I sustained a spinal cord injury and had to have surgery. I woke up one day and I would try running, and it felt like I was running on borrowed legs. So I could no longer walk. I had pain in my right hand, lost muscle, and a lot of use of the right hand, which is my dominant hand. The left hand had tremors, still does, and I have a number of issues with my legs, with balance and strength. So I had surgery. The day after surgery, I coded out, and they had to have the people come in and bring me back. So I developed complications after my surgery and lost consciousness again. A week or two later at my desk, like an idiot, I was back working like way too soon, because I had to, right? You have to. That's the American way, right? We sacrifice ourselves for our positions and wealth and all these dumb things that really mean nothing in the end. But anyway, so another ambulance ride and more neurologist visits. Eventually, they sent me to the University of Florida to meet with a professor because they were a bit dumbfounded by my my clinical presentation. What was happening to me, and this doctor essentially said, "I've looked at your MRI. Here's what I think you have, and I'm amazed you walked in here. I would not expect someone with your MRI to present clinically as someone who could walk." At that time, I was on a number of restrictions. The doctor lifted them all, and that sounds great. It sounded great to me in the moment, because I was struggling with my daughter, my 10-year-old daughter, carrying the 20-pound bag of dog food because I was limited to 3 pounds. But the reason he said I could do anything I wanted was because in 5 years he expected me to be back in a wheelchair. Gave me a 50% chance of being paralyzed from the neck down, a 50% chance of being blind because of the disease he thought I had, preferentially attacks the optic nerves and the spinal cord. So I would be blind, a 50-50 shot of being blind, a 50-50 shot of being paralyzed from the neck down, and a 1 in 3 chance of dying inside of 5 years, which made the event where I lost consciousness even more frightening. because it meant that the inflammation had spread into my brainstem, which as an undergrad in neuroscience I knew was not a good thing.
So we left it for like 10 minutes, and then of course our recycling dumpster has garbage in it. So you can empty it out, toss it in the garbage. And not only do we do recycling, we do the garbage every now and again.
We also do the other people's jabs for them.
Well, we all pitch in. Keeping it clean, green, and pristine, Green Patrol style. Boom.
Going from being a super male, super guy, super achiever, to having difficulty walking, not being, from running marathons to making it from the bedroom to the kitchen or to the bathroom, an equivalent marathon effort, changes one's perspective. So thankfully I lost my job in private equity. I lost all my money, but what I had left, I've plowed into rebuilding not just my life, but the change I want to see in the world, to paraphrase Mahatma Gandhi's famous quote there.
Expert level. Flawless victory. Getting full, and we've still got all the clear streams to bring in.
I developed a device that allowed me to move around with greater mobility, permitted me to carry more than I could even running or walking, and actually presented a viable platform for, you could sell ad space on. Candidly, it became viable because, an organization has to sustain itself. Here's where you're going to see me going and pitching ad space to different organizations, who of course are going to pay a product placement fee. The Green Patrol, essentially what we do is we do litter cleanups. We use the electric transporters because that's how I did it, and then I realized I did a little study and found out that teenagers are far more willing to volunteer if they can do something that's fun and easy, and the EHT makes that possible. It also permits us to monetize. Also, we do event recycling and composting. I would go to these events, 5Ks, I used to run a lot, and I would be heartsick that they were throwing all this stuff away. Now we do street fairs, we do concerts, we do chili cook-offs, things like that. Community events, Relay for Life walks for the American Cancer Society. And we're able to capture between 50 and 8 is the highest recovery rate we have is 81%. We're able to recover 81% of everything that would have otherwise ended up in the landfill. So these are our two core activities, but we also do eco tours because we want people to reconnect with nature and remind them in a very lighthearted, fun way of ways that they can protect, in particular here, the Inner River Lagoon.
Oh, he's back.
So that's how the Green Patrol came to be. I went from this to these, and I'm looking forward to. I've already planned. I'm going to walk a 50-mile ultra in November, but in the meantime, we're going all over the country, spreading the Love Life message. Back to Steve Fugate.
I've walked across the United States 6 times without any money.
Wow.
Some people have raised money for me, not much.
Yeah.
But I have a #1 rule. I do not ask when I'm out there on the road. Never.
That's pretty
never
cool.
I will
You just do
die
it because you want to do it.
I do it because I love life. I
You
do
wanna
it because I
spread a
lost
message.
I lost my son to suicide while I was doing the Appalachian Trail.
Wow.
6 years later, I lost my daughter to an accidental drug overdose because of losing her little brother to suicide.
Wow.
And she was never right again.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Sure.
and so I'm out there with Love Life sign over my head. It's like I don't want other parents to go through the absolute horror that I live in.
Yeah.
And I don't want other young people to miss out on love and life.
Thanks for tuning into Our Human Family. In the next episode, you're going to see us planning the walk.
For less than the price of one.
Great.
Oh, I decided yesterday, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get this cheap one for $17 at Sports Authority. It looks like the one I got, and I got the good Lakey. And so I'm going out the door with it. I bought it. I'm going out the door, and I go, you know what, I'm going to check and make sure this thing extends good. And I just walked out the door, and I went, popped right out. I walked right back in and said, give my money back.
Yeah.
She
You gotta
went,
have good gear.
oh, well, you can put this back in. I said, you probably can.
Yeah.
But I don't want it coming out on me at that bad time. That's why, you know, even something as simple as a trekking pole, man. I told you what happened to me. I almost died in Grayson Park, man.
You're going to see some troubles that Steve has along the road.
There's nothing. I don't want to put any holes in this. You know, what do you think? It's vinyl, man. I don't want to take a chance of. Yeah, actually, I don't even need one up there when I'm going to. I'm going to stick with what I got
And you're going to hear one of Steve's great stories.
Tokyo, Missouri, and Bible Belt, USA, and I come out, and there was a family Bible, brand new. I swear it was that big, on top of my backpack, and I'm like, Jesus! So I go in there, and I'm trying to be, Jesus, right?
And see our first event being planned.
So I want to be clicking with you, and there's nothing you can tell me. I'm not thin-skinned, and I'm not, you know, and I'm not stupid.
The vision has always been to connect people with needs, with services they didn't know about.
Okay.
So, you know, our prep team will call an area, find out what's available, what the needs are, and then figure out how to advertise the event in a way such that people who need, you know, like low-cost mental health counseling, or clothes to get a job, or you know, whatever hand up we can provide, you know, our fellow human.
Absolutely, man. That's what it's about.
After a day of cleaning up the roadways, the green patroller throws away his garbage that's in the trash and then empties his recycling for sorting.
And Hattie sorts it out.
Packing up for the day.
Join the Green Patrol. Have a good time. Good in the community.